some of this stuff. See, what do we have to do? Oh yeah, we're working on that like just oh my gosh, such a mess. There's so many things. Okay, so we're working on this like pinch pot and adding handles to it. I have a few other things going on also. Okay, so here's the pinch pot. Oh yeah, we have I think this is just clay. I don't think that's anything particular. Okay, so I'll set this back out so it can dry a little bit more. Okay. I think that could dry a teeny bit. Let me see. I think I've got my banding wheel out. Okay, so this definitely does need to dry a little bit more, but let's just like start carving a little bit out of it. Just because we really don't need like the whole thing to be super dry. Because once we like start carving into it, then it's gonna need to dry from that point, and it would take like kind of forever for this just mass to dry fully. So let me just like fix up the edges here, and then we'll get started on I don't know, just kind of like I'm like tracing out some areas where we're gonna start carving, and then maybe we'll jump over to the little pinch pot and carve that too. I don't know, let's just like see how far we get. Yeah, so let me grab this one. So this is the one I made earlier. Personally, I think the wells aren't as deep as I'd like them to be, so that's what we want to do, is just like try to make this one a bit deeper. I wonder if okay, so let's carve out a tiny bit of the bottom. I don't know if I want to use this big one. I'm scared I'm gonna just like carve out like way too much. I just want to do like the teeniest bit, really, so that it's still like lifted up from like the table, but I really want to keep like a lot of this depth. Oh my gosh, I hope you can't hear that in the background. Okay, I'm just being like really careful, because sometimes when I use like, I don't know, sometimes when I use the bigger carving tools, I just like grab like way too much. It just gets like a little bit too crazy. Um, okay, I definitely need to like carve out more though. I'm working on it. Something else we could do um, is like not carve the bottom and just put like a coil to lift it up around the edge. I really hate making coils, so we're not gonna do that. But if you wanted to, like, that's another way you could just um, do this. Let me close my Slack. 'Cause I don't know. You never know. It might just be going crazy with notifications. But we're on break right now. I guess I can tell you guys like how I like got into ceramics. Since we're not doing anything too incredibly exciting right now. So I guess it's story time. Um, so during the day, I work as a graphic designer. That's what I have my degree in. Like that's what I went to school for. Mm, oh my gosh, Annie's like being really loud in the background. Um, So that's what I went to school for. And my first like design job outside of college, I was working at a university, and they didn't have like very many benefits, but one of the benefits that they did offer were tuition free classes. And I would just like, I don't really know, like, I don't know like why exactly that this is the like class that I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. I can't really remember. Um, mm, I don't know. Maybe I just like, I follow a lot of different artists on Instagram, like whatever I think is really cool. And maybe at the time I was just like, this is pretty cool stuff. Maybe I should try that out. Because I did take a lot of different art classes in college, and ceramics just wasn't one of them. Usually, for the most part, I used a lot of my electives for painting because I really thought I wanted to do more painting. I really do like watercolor. So that's why I used a lot of my electives for, and then anything else was design related, like that you had to take, like photography, computer art, um, other than um, like the foundation classes that like everybody has to take. Like other than that, what else did I do? Oh, I did like printmaking because that's kind of like related to design in a way, stuff like that. And I did try illustration because I was really interested in illustration. um the one class I took, I was just like not I was just not interested. I probably should have like kept with it because I do really like illustration type stuff, but like I don't know, there's something about the class I was just like, I don't know. I don't know. Like the teacher is nice and everything. I was just like, I just didn't really feel like I was learning like illustration type stuff. I don't really particularly remember us learning illustration specific things. It was really like, oh, okay, like it was more like a drawing class, and I already took a drawing class. And it was just like, oh, here like some plastic fruits or something, go like draw it or something. And it was just not really illustration, and I was just like, what are we doing? I don't know. And I was just like not really that interested anyway. um so I never like, I didn't know like really anything about ceramics, and my friend took it. She wasn't even an art major. My friend took it, and she was like, you should try it, it's really cool, because like her mom took it in college, I think, and she just thought it was like really neat. But I was just like, I don't know, like I don't like, I was just kind of like scared like I wouldn't have any like ideas, like I don't know. That's just like all I remember like thinking is like, what if I don't have like any ideas to like make things? I don't know. um so I just like never did. Anyway. So back to um back to my job. So I don't know how, somehow it just happened, and I was like, you know what, I was just like, I'm gonna try a ceramics class because I've never done that. And their ceramics program was really like it was like pretty like well known to be like one of their top notch programs. um So I was like, okay, yeah, I'll try this out and like whatever. Like I was like, I already have a degree. Like it doesn't matter if I'm not doing well in the class or something. I guess it wouldn't matter if I even had to drop out because I wasn't paying tuition for it. like like worst case scenario, I don't think it would have really been that bad. So I was just like, okay, like I've done all these other art classes, and I was like, let's try this out, I guess. And then I really, really liked it. So what I started with, so the school does like, they break up hand building and wheel throwing into like separate, like entirely separate classes. I don't know if that is what they usually do. I don't know. So I was just like, yeah, I was like, wheel throwing looks so cool. So that's what I signed up for, was like intro to wheel throwing, and then I just loved it. Like, and there's just like so many things that were just really different about ceramics that I thought were really interesting. Like, so like painting, you have your paints and then you mix them to the color that you want, and then that's what you get. But ceramics is not like that. You can't just go and mix your glaze to the perfect shade of whatever. Like, that's not how it works. I mean, you can like sort of do that with like underglaze, or maybe if like you're doing something else, like stains or something. But just regular glaze, you can't do that. And I just thought it was so interesting, like this the chemistry, yeah, the chemistry aspect of ceramics is just like, you just do not see chemistry in other art forms like impacting it as much as you see in ceramics. And it is just like so crazy how you could even like glaze things with the same glaze combinations and they might look completely different. And I was just like, I don't know, I was just like, this is so cool. Like, you can have a complete plan of what you're gonna do, and if you don't really know what you're doing, you can get a lot of surprises. And I was like, this is, I don't know, there's just like something really interesting about that. And I just love it. I love the surprise. I love when you go to get your glaze fired pieces that you might not even recognize it at some point. Like sometimes. Yeah, I still get that because I don't have my like core glazes yet. I'm kind of experimenting still with how they're looking, and like some of them I would be like, I don't even recognize this because it does not look like what I thought it was gonna look like. And there's something about that that's really interesting to me. And I love the just like, I don't know, there's something about like how easy it is to change, just from like, you can make really drastic changes at nearly any point of like making something. And I really like that. Like, you can, I don't know, I'm not really sure like how to describe it. Like, you could weigh out the same amount of clay and like throw it into like 5 identical cups, but then you can like trim them differently, you can glaze them differently, and just like, there's so many like drastic changes that you can make to them just like at various like states of how dry the clay is, or like the, whatever making process it's at. I just think that's like really interesting. I don't know. Anyway, that's kind of like, well, that's like how I like really fell into it, and it was just kind of out of nowhere. So I took classes at the university, and then COVID hit, and then I had to stop taking classes because I don't even know how they were doing like the studio things, because like some like classes they're just doing it virtually, but like I was like, how are these people like, how are the art students like doing their classes? And I was just like, this isn't necessary. And I was just like, I'm just gonna not sign up for another class, and just, I don't know. I was like, I'm just gonna figure it out later. And I feel like the classes that I took were enough for me to just like get a good handle on all of the basics. Like, we did a lot of things in the classes. We mixed our own glazes, we mixed our own clay, we were taught like, like how to load, unload the kiln, that kind of stuff. And then just like stuff about like how clay works, and maybe like a couple like troubleshooting type things. Or sometimes like the teacher like see something in like another class's work or something where it went wrong, and then he'd like tell us about it, like, okay, like this is what happened to this piece and this is why it looks like this. And it's like, don't do that. Or like something like that. So I feel like I just got like a really good like foundation of just like enough to know how to do this type of stuff. Other things like, obviously you don't want to be putting your clay down the sink, that or the glazes, don't be doing that. So then and then after the well, it was actually a little bit more towards like the end of the pandemic-ish. Things weren't so crazy. I'm trying to figure out like some kind of different shape. Things weren't so crazy, and we're just like, my boyfriend at the time and I were just like, we don't want to live here anymore. We were living in Nebraska, and so then we're just like, okay, let's move. So we moved to Portland, and I'm the one that really like pushed for Portland because I really love like the kind of like art community that's here, and just like stuff that like people are willing to buy handmade stuff, where in other parts of the country like Nebraska, it's not quite as common. Or like people are just like, why should I spend that much money on that when I can go to Hobby Lobby or something? Like people don't understand. Where like people here in Oregon, they get it. Like they understand things that are handmade are not the same as what you get at the store, and just like value any kind of handcrafted thing more. And I just really like that. And I think as an artist that's like just starting out, I just kind of wanted to be in this kind of space. I mean, you can always do like stuff online, but that it's really hard to like get your name out there online. It's really hard to kind of like build that type of community, where like here I've been trying to do a couple like markets. They have a lot of different markets that you can do here, and just like more opportunities as an artist. And I love like the art studios. There's so many studios for all kinds of different things, not just the typical painting and drawing, but there's like so much more of a variety. Like if I was still in Nebraska, I wouldn't have anywhere to fire my work. There just are not. There are like, I don't know where I was. There's like maybe 2 studios, but you'd have to have a membership, and you have to pay like a couple $100 a month, I think, to have the membership. And then they'll fire your work. But like they just don't have outside firing. If you're like, this is a weird shape. I think I'm gonna adjust it. Like if you are working in your home and you just only want to get fired, they just don't offer that. Where here in Portland, there are enough studios that like some of them do offer that, and it just allows me to work from home with my stuff and not have to go to a studio. I need to fix this. This is a really weird shape. What do I want to do? So yeah, and the art community, it's not as quite like as active in terms of like, I don't know, like it's a little hard to like meet people. Like I'm a little surprised that like the Meetup app only has like maybe like 2 that are just for chatting and like meeting up, where some of them are like super specific. But just for like meeting people, there are only like 2. So I'm a little surprised on that. Let me see. What do I want to do? I think I'll make a smaller shape over here. So yeah, so that's how I got into ceramics. I feel like I do a lot of different art media, but ceramics is just the thing that I just feel like I could just sit down for hours and not feel like I'm sitting here for hours and just not run out of ideas. That's just like the thing that I love about it, where other things I just get stuck because I'm like, I just don't quite, like I have ideas, but I don't quite know how to do it. Like certain like paintings, you have to like plan it out, and I'm just like, I don't know how to plan it out, like what I want. Like I have like a very vague idea of like maybe like the picture, but it's not like really coming out. And I hate that. I hate having to like maybe like make a sketch of a painting before doing it. I really hate that. Where like ceramics, it's like I'm not like a pro on the wheel. I'll let you know that I'm not like a pro. I haven't really, right now I haven't done it really in kind of a while. But I just love how you can just like, you just grab a thin clay, get started, and maybe you're thinking like, I don't know. Maybe you're thinking, I want to make a mug. And then something doesn't go right, but that's okay because you can still make it into a vase, or maybe it's too small and maybe it's gonna be a cup now. Like, I love that. It's so easy to just, it's so easy to fix what you're doing and just kind of readjust what's happening. Like, adjust to any issues that come up. Or sometimes, like when I'm painting, I just stare at it. I just stand there staring at it for like, I don't even know how long. I probably like stare at paintings for hours, trying to figure out like, okay, that does not, like, that brush mark does not look right. And I just sit there and stare at it, trying to figure out like, okay, like, would it look better if I put something over here? Does it need to be in this color? Like, what, like, just like all the things about the color, or like, also like thinking ahead, like, what if you did like multiple brush strokes to like cover it or something? And I just get like so, I really hate that. I just get like so lost in trying to figure out, and it just takes forever, and then sometimes I just give up on it, or I don't know. Clay is just like, if you really don't like it, just crumple it up and put it in the reclaim and you can just start over. It's not a big deal. Like, I don't know. There's just something really different about it that is just something that I really like. Let me see, what can I do over here? Maybe we'll do like a curvy shape. I'm trying to make these like a good size, but also not like a dumb shape that is not really usable. I mean, I'm planning on just using it for me, like myself, and not like trying to sell it or anything. But still, I don't want it to be like unusable in certain areas because I did like a stupid thing. I don't know if we should move over to this. I guess we can start on this. Maybe do something a little bit different for the second half. I only stream for an hour on weekdays, from 1 to 2, because this is my lunch hour. And after the hour's up, I have to go back to work, so that's what's happening. Okay, so I think I want this to be a little bit more even for like where the rim is. So I'm just gonna put this here and kind of hope that it works. All right. Also, it's so like it's from so long ago, but when I was like when I was in elementary school, we did have like art classes. That was the only time I ever had art classes. Before college was in elementary school. Our school didn't have art. Our art teacher like left, and then he wasn't replaced by the time I got into like middle school and high school. So we did work with a lot of different media, and I do remember I really liked ceramics when we were doing that. I did remember like just thinking it was like really neat. Um, and then also my older brother that I do not see like hardly ever. He also um does ceramics, but not really in a way that is like my style. So I don't want to be mean, but I don't like his stuff. I can appreciate it from like an artist standpoint. Like he makes like really big vases that I definitely could not do. And just, that kind of stuff. Like I can appreciate it, but it's never been like my style, so I've never really been like too much in awe of it. But I do remember like being like kind of wowed because I think one time when I was really little, he brought his I don't know, I think he brought his wheel to our house or something. He's like a lot older than me, so he already had like his own house and stuff. But I don't know, I vaguely remember him bringing his wheel over for some reason. I don't know. And I thought it was like so cool. Let me see. I'm trying to see like how even this is. It doesn't have to be like super even, but I feel like if we're putting handles on it, like if one side is like a lot taller than the other, then I think the handle thing will be weird. Okay. So there's that, but that's like so like that was from so long ago. I barely even like remember it, as you can tell. So yeah, I guess I've always kind of like been like a little bit interested in ceramics. I feel like I don't know. I feel like in high school or not high school. I feel like in college maybe I was just like I don't know. I kind of feel like maybe I was just like you have to have all this stuff for ceramics and you can't really just go and do it. You have to like go to a studio and like find a place that has a kiln, and it's not just like it's unlike painting. Painting you can just go to the art store, get the stuff, and then go home and like work on it right away. But ceramics does have a few things that make it harder to do just like on your own. Like right now, like I wouldn't okay, if I could afford a kiln, I couldn't have one because there's nowhere for me to put it. I live in an apartment and that would be a fire hazard and also a health hazard. Like you kind of have to have like a house with like somewhere in the yard or the garage to put it. Anyway, I just liked how like really convenient it was to do like painting and that kind of stuff. I don't know. So I always want to encourage people to just try things out because like ceramics is just like the complete opposite of like graphic design, I feel like. I mean, obviously design, you're on the computer. It's really perfect. Like it can be really perfect. You have type tools and you can just put text down and in the perfect font that you want, and you can center things, you can have perfect circles or rectangles and whatever. Like everything can be perfectly centered. Or like if you're trying to do something with like putting text in a specific font on something that was like ceramic, that would be very hard to do. Like so you have, it's just like so I don't really know what the word is. But it's not bad. It's not bad that you can't perfect things. I mean, you could. There are definitely ceramists that do like geometric shapes, and it's like really crazy and perfect how they I don't know, cutting out these perfect shapes on the thing, and like the whole thing is just like really perfect with, I don't know, maybe it's like cutting triangles in the side of the piece, like in that, like just like that perfect pattern, or perfect stripes or something, or like literally anything. There are people that do that. Like and it's like, yeah, that's cool, but I actually want to try to get away from like stuff that would be more perfectionist, like, because although things do bother me sometimes, I'm trying to get away from perfectionism, and because it will like drive me crazy. Like just the act of trying to make something so perfect. That's why I really I think it just like feels a lot better to me to be doing things that are like pinch pots, and it's not supposed to be perfect, so it doesn't need to be. Like it just, I don't know, mentally there's something about it that is just like kind of a relief, I guess. Anyway, and if you look at like any of my other art, like my painting, like everything's very abstract, and I think that's just the opposite of what design is. Or at least like that's kind of like what I see in doing art, like outside of work. I don't know, I guess it just kind of gives me like a break or something. I don't know, but I really like that. I used to really love that aspect of design, of like how perfect you could make things in terms of like spacing and centering and that type of stuff. But now I'm like, I don't know, now I'm just like, yeah, okay. I mean, we still want that. We still want things to be centered when they're supposed to be centered and that, but I'm not so like weirdly obsessed with it anymore. Okay, I think maybe we should trim the bottom too. Maybe we'll just trim. We're not quite done. I kind of make like a nice little foot here. I'd love to hear if like if you're an artist and like if you do ceramics, like I don't know, like how did you start doing it? Like what got you into it? Or like if you ever like changed mediums, like you were really into like this one and now you like just completely changed to something like really different. I think that would be like kind of like cool to hear about. And I know people, I think some people are scared to make big changes like that, especially if it's like after you got your degree or something. It's like, oh, okay, now I have a degree that I'm not really using. I don't know. I think it could be really interesting to hear people's stories, and that kind of thing. And I don't know, maybe hearing about other people will make, if other people read the comments, they can kind of like maybe not be so scared to try something new. Because it can be like, I don't know, kind of like intimidating to do something that's really different and people are like, what are you even doing? Like, why are you suddenly doing this? Or I don't know. But there's just like, I don't know, there's just like something about art, like you just kind of have to try it out and see where it takes you, I guess. Because it's so weird, like, because I remember thinking when my friend was like, you should try ceramics, I remember thinking like, well, what if I like don't have any ideas? But it's the complete opposite, where like I have more ideas that like in this medium than I do in anything else. Like it's just so weird. It's so weird that that's the thing that I thought. And I don't know, I think sometimes you just need to throw yourself into things. There are definitely things where you're like I don't know, like photography for me is the worst. Not to like I don't want to bash on any people that are photographers, but it is just not for me. All of the technical aspects of it, of like shooting photos with an actual camera, it is just, I don't think it's something I can ever like get into in a way that would be fun. It's way too technical. You know, all the things, f-stops, aperture, shutter speed, all of that. It's just I don't even know, like I did take a photography class in college. Wait, how many did I take? I think, or maybe I just took the one. Okay, I think I just took the one. I think that's all we had to do. And I don't even think I ever really like quite got the hang of how you're actually supposed to like format the camera. Which is really weird because I'm like, oh, I don't like how technical it is, but at the same time I work in like Adobe. But like in a way you can get what you want out of like say like Adobe Illustrator, even if you don't exactly know how to use all of the tools. But like in photography, if you don't know how to use any of the tools or like any of the things for the camera, like it's not really gonna go very well. I don't know. I guess that's kind of the difference that I see in it. I'm just trying to like see what kind of shape we're getting. I don't know if I want to bring that in more. Maybe not. I don't want it to be like too tipsy. But yeah, there's definitely things. I think trying it really helps. To see like how you feel about it. And I have tried photography. I did try it. I still have to do it for like my shop. I had to take photos, but I just use like my phone instead. Sometimes that's the thing that you have to do is just find something that works for you. So I don't use my DSLR anymore. I mostly just like take photos and videos using my phone, which is like fine for the most part for what I need out of it. But yeah, I mean, sometimes you do have to just try something that is not how you're supposed to do it and see how that feels. But I don't know. I think I would encourage like artists that aren't like on a set path to try different things, or even if you do think, no, this is my thing. I don't know. I'd still encourage people to like try things out, and I think that can be really fun. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I love learning the process of how other art media is like made, or like how you do it. That's just really interesting to me. And I think it can give you like a really like a better appreciation for how those things are made too, because then you can kind of you get it, or at least you can like to some extent like understand at least some of the basics, and maybe it's not quite the same process as you like pictured. I think that's like really good too. Okay, just have a few more minutes, and then I will have to hop off. But I'll be streaming tonight also. I'll have some free time, and I don't know, maybe stream a couple hours. Okay, so at some point I did say I want to like try to get the whole process of just what I'm doing, kind of like record the whole process, but but for like, I don't know, I do think some stuff is getting a little bit too repetitive. Like, I do really want to make a bunch of little plates that I can underglaze, but I can see how that can be kind of boring to watch when I'm just doing the same thing over and over. So some of the stuff that is something that we've already done in the live stream, I'm going to try to cut some of these down so they're not just the same. There's been a lot of plate trimming happening, and I don't know, but I feel like if people actually watch these videos, they're going to be upset. But it's just something that needs to happen. I want to make a bunch of plates, and trimming them is something that needs to happen. I'm sorry. So I'm trying to like do a few things a little bit differently, make a few different things. Also, so it's been like, let me think. okay, it's been over 3 years since I don't know, maybe even like 4 or something, since the last time I threw on the wheel. I recently got it. I recently got my own to use, and I found that I completely forgot how to throw. Which you'd think it's just muscle memory, and a little bit of it is, but it's not enough. So I will not be sharing my throwing with you guys just yet, because I don't want people to be watching it and then trying to learn off of what I'm doing, and I know that I'm not doing it right. Or I don't want to be putting this on YouTube and people in the comments are like, you have no idea what you're even doing. Like, I don't want that to be happening. So I'm gonna be doing a couple things, I don't know how many. I'm gonna be doing things on the wheel that I won't be sharing in the videos yet. They'll probably be in, I don't know, they might pop up in maybe trimming or, like underglaze, glazing, decorative stuff. They might come up in some of those, but just know that's why I'm just not ready to be sharing that process yet, because I basically forgot how to throw, which really stinks, because I felt like I was not really good, but I felt really confident, like the last time that I had been doing ceramics. Like, I felt really confident about my throwing, and now I'm just at like square one with it. And it's just like, it's a little bit frustrating, because it's like, I knew how to do this, and now I don't, and yeah. Which I'm glad I got it. I got the wheel, because I don't want to be putting this off even more, like the relearning part. But yeah. So more on that later. It might be a while. I don't know. Maybe months. Maybe a couple months. I'll need to work on it and just build that back up until I feel like I know what I'm doing before I start sharing that with you guys. So yeah, but that will come at some point. We'll do that together. Yeah, okay, so we're coming to a close here. Let me pause my alarm. All right, so we're not quite done with this. I might finish this off camera, because we're not doing too much. So I'm going to finish trimming it, and then I need to attach the handles and then kind of fix up the handles to look nice. So that's all that's happening with this one. So thank you so much for watching. If you're watching on Twitch, be sure to follow the channel for more of this content. I'm trying to switch things up a little bit. Trying to see like how things are going. I don't want to do too much of the same thing, but I kind of want to show like the process of like the things that I am working on. I have a couple pinch padded vases here that are not done. Whoops. And when I kind of like perfect this process, I'll show you guys, but I really have no idea what I'm doing right now with those. They looked really Frankenstein-like yesterday. So yeah, if you're on Twitch, be sure to follow along for more. If you're watching on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to the channel, and that's where I'll be posting the whole stream archive, because they will be deleted off Twitch after a week. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate anybody that's spending time to watch my videos. It really helps out my channel, just getting those views. And it also helped to get either followers or subscribers. So I'll catch you guys later. And be sure to leave any thoughts you have about the stream in the comments. All right, thank you. Bye.